Welcome to East Meets West, and this is a program that you get to hear from different leaders around the world of things that they're doing about maybe some of their leadership journey, some of their challenges, and also some tips of how can you also overcome some of those challenges. And today we have a special guest, and I love inviting my John Maxwell colleagues, them from different part of the world to share a little bit about what they're doing and also impart some knowledge onto all of us. I get to learn so much from them, and I know you are also getting to learn. So we're asking you to send your questions, put it in the comments, and Coach Lysa here will definitely respond, or I will also respond to you. So share this podcast as we have this time here today. Zone in, listen, see also if you can add value to our audience by sharing your comments. Now, let me tell you a little bit about our coach that is with us, Coach Lysa Mandip, and she has graciously given us some of her time today to share with us about resilience. And what does this have to do with leadership? And as a leader, the importance of being resilient. So, Lysa, she is an inspiring leader coach. As I said, she's part of the John Maxwell family. And she's dedicated to empowering individuals and organizations to unlock their full potential. And if you hear, John Maxwell coaches talk, you will hear this across all of them. It's about empowering individuals. She can speak actually both English and French. And Lysa, effortlessly connect with the diverse audience that she interacts with, sharing valuable insights and creating transformation wherever she go. So through learning experiences, she has this way of leaving an impact on others, and she will do the same with us today. She holds an MBA in marketing alongside various specialist diplomas, and maybe she'll tell us a little bit one or two of those. And she is also, as I said, a coach, but she has her own business that named the Dream Woman Network. And it is a platform that empowers women to discover, unleash their unique gifts. So I know she's talking, it's a women network, but I do know many men also are listening and getting empowered too. So today, please help me to welcome. We have Coach Lysa Mandip on our program, and she's going to be talking about resilience as a leader and some aspect of servant leadership here today. So, Coach, welcome to our program, East Meets West. And again, thank you for taking the time out to impart some wisdom onto us. Is there anything, I know I have not read your whole bio here, and there are so many things that going on with your life too, but do you want to add anything to what I've already said?
Thank you so much, Dr. Shanti, for having me here this morning. I think pretty much you said everything, but truly I am a dynamic person. I do so many things. So yes, you did mention most of it. I also run a home care company in the US. It's faith based, I would say, because my values and everything I bring in the job is based on my faith. I'm a faith based person as well. On the side, I do have a gift business. I do gift baskets and gift boxes when I'm not working, when I'm not busy with clients or empowering women. I do gifts, but generally everything I do is in that sphere of adding value to people. So I run a home care company which is helping older people. I do add value to their lives as well as to the people I work with. I do gifts, which is also adding value to people, making their lives better, adding a smile onto them daily with everything we do. So pretty much it's in that sphere that I operate my day-to-day life. So yeah, specialist diplomas. I have a diploma in advertising, communication as well. And there's so many other things which pretty much I think you've said the most that we need for today. So thank you so much.
I also didn't mention you're from Cameroon, correct?
I am from Cameroon, yes, originally, and I am currently living in the US, Pennsylvania.
Yes. So I guess that's where the French came from.
Yes. Yes.
What
Yeah. So in Cameroon, I am bilingual because I went to school in the English part of Cameroon, but I worked, so most of my professional life was in the French part. So give and take. I am both.
As I said, all I can say is bonjour. I don't think I'm saying it
That's
correct.
a lot. That's a lot. I mean, people
That's
like
all
to
I
be
learned in high school
referred to.
that I can
Yes,
remember.
that's a lot. Bonjour. Yes.
Coach Lysa, let's talk about resilience. And this is a hot topic because now with with all these leadership challenges that are not only in my country or your country, it's around the world. And
Mhm.
as a leader, you know, how do we have a resilient mind? So over to you.
Right. So I so much love that topic, resilience, because that's one thing that keeps me going. That's one thing which I have been able to build. So for me, that's my platform. That's my foundation. It is the foundation on which I have pretty much built my life and still building on. Resilience to me, I look at it as the ability to be able to rise back up. I mean, it's not that you don't fall, we fall every day and we're still going to fall. And so for me, it's the ability you build in you to be able to rise back when you fall. So don't get knocked, we get knocked down, but don't stay down. That's my principle. And so in the terms of leadership, I say it as that point where you're able to adapt. You're able to adapt to circumstances. The things will happen as they come, the challenges will come. But if you are able to adapt to that circumstance and not call it exactly as life throws it on you, but be able to give it a name which is going to cause you to adapt to a circumstance and then rise further. We will get challenges from maybe work, from our colleagues and different things. But I think we still have, and we don't invite these challenges on us. That's one thing. We never do invite the challenges, but they will come anyway. It doesn't matter how and when, they will definitely come. So I think it's in the form of, in the space of a leader, it's you preparing or building yourself. No one was born you weren't born with that resilient nature. You're not born as an iron, you're born as a human being. So resilience is something which we can all build, and it's something which as a leader you should definitely build, because life is not on a straight path. It's going to throw onto us curveballs from different directions. So the way I see resilience, and I use it in my leadership term, is to be able to see these things coming and I decide, now you're here, I didn't invite you, you're here, but what do I do with it? As a leader, I don't see challenges anymore as an obstacle or as the end to a road. I might be trying to solve a problem or lead someone or lead an organization or something. If a challenge comes, I don't see it as the end of the road. I don't see it as a stop. I see that as another open book, another open door, another dimension to that thing I was trying to do. And so that's how I relate my resilience to leadership. And again, when I love resilience, because it's something which when you build it, it can be transferred to every sphere of your life. You transfer it to your home, you'll be able to transfer it to, I mean, it doesn't matter what team you're working with at that time, you can transfer the same skills or that same ability you have built to those different areas. And so I think every leader at some point or by your day-to-day life, you need to be able to build aspects of you that would give you that ability, that adaptability to adapt to every circumstance as they come your way. Did I answer your question correctly?
Yeah. No, there's no correct answer here, but I do appreciate this whole aspect of adapting. And when we talk about challenges, you know, yes, I can see that every single day
Mhm.
there are challenges that we face. And I tell to people that every day something will happen.
Sure.
But like listening to you, what comes to mind is always the mindset behind how you see it. How do you see something? Yes, do you want to call it a challenge or do you want to call it an opportunity?
Yeah.
So it's like two different mindset here. Because depend on what you label it, that is exactly what you're going to feel. So if
Yes.
it's a challenge, then it sounds like it's overwhelming, and oh, this is happening, and
Mhm.
you know, you tend to sometimes, especially if you can't find a way to, solve whatever is happening,
Yeah.
it becomes like a burden now.
Yeah.
And this is where, your thinking comes
Mhm.
in, which develops you into becoming more resilient. So in that time, it's either you 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 would say you cut and run. I don't know if you heard,
Mhm.
or
You fought forward.
give up, right? You give up because the challenge is too hard. It's too much. It's too whatever you label it as. Compare it to if you say opportunities. Okay, there's something happening here today, and which is every day something new happen. And
Mm-hmm.
okay, this is the next opportunity for me to solve something else. It's an opportunity here for me to now come up with a different solution. It's
Yep.
an opportunity for me to grow in this area here now,
Exactly.
presenting this to me.
Mm.
So, as you were speaking, I'm just thinking a lot has to do with how we think about what we're facing.
Very true. I agree. I
So,
agree.
are there any examples so that you would like to share? How did you develop a resilient mindset so that I'm not saying that we might do the same thing and develop, but we can learn and we can test also to see some of those things that
Of course.
can
Yeah.
apply to.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's a great question because, like I mentioned before, no one is born resilient. And the good news as well is that we all learn, we can learn the skills, we can learn the ability, we can adapt and become more resilient. So I was able to build that mindset based on the so much that happened to me. One of them was leaving my country of origin and moving to the US, which was new for me. I'd never been to the US, where I had to relocate to the US. At the time, I did for several reasons. One of them was a divorce and so many other things. But coming to a new space, starting all over, this was me being above 40 to start all over in a strange country. I mean, I had to either break or make it. So doing that, I had to go through so many things and learn quickly to be able to stand again. I got here 2019, got hit directly with COVID, which means I'm not able to work. I'm not able to get a work permit either or anything. So in that space where I had to stay home grounded, not doing anything, after abandoning a job, a business and everything, I had to either transform my mindset into something else or breaking completely and shattering the little pieces which I had left. But thank God to family, friends, and everything I had around me, I was able to build back quicker. And especially as I got to the US as well, one of the things that happened to me was me joining the John Maxwell team, which I did soon as I got to the US. And that was because it's something I had on my bucket list from way back like 2015. And so soon as I got here in that space where I didn't have a job or anything at that moment, that was my next fall. I mean, I started thinking quickly. Now this is here. Now this is the problem. What do you do? Do you want to break? Do you want to go back? Do you want to move forward? And so I started thinking, what do I do in this space where I don't have a work permit? I can't work. What can I do? And so I started looking and like, oh, this is that opportunity for me to do that leadership development training, which I had always wanted to do. I'd always wanted to meet John Maxwell in person. And I said, I am in the US right now, so why not? So it's in all of that. I got to do that training, met different people. One of them is my mentor, Dr. 𝐌𝐚𝐻𝐿𝐽, which has been so much everything to me and great inspiration, great leader. And it's in that space where I was able to pick up the little pieces I had, build the strength which I now use for so many other things today. And yeah, I am here today. And based on that training, based on the coaching, the mentorship, I was able to set up the Dream Woman Network. That network wasn't just set up because I wanted to do or just create something. It was set up because to me it was a paying forward. I have learned from so many people. I have been held by so many people as well. One of them I just mentioned, my mentor, Dr. Dr. John Maxwell, first of all, was one of them, and then Dr. Coco and so many others. I take personal lessons every day, personal leadership courses. I do so many other things to build myself. And along that way, so many people have held my hands. And so I thought to myself one day, these people have held me this far. What am I going to do with everything I have built? Do I just hoard it? Do I just keep storing it in me? Do I just keep it and just show off? I have this, and that. What do I do with it? And so it occurred to me, you can transfer this to other people as well. Other people being other women like you who might have the same desire, but don't have the platform, don't have the connections, don't have the network and everything. And then there we had the Dream Woman Network built to not coach weaker people, but to be able to use the strength which I had built to pull out their own strength, which they have in them and maybe did not know. And that's exactly what we do today. So it's been phenomenal for me. And if I want to tie that with servant leadership, for me, one of the biggest lessons I have learned so far as a leader is that people would not remember what you said. This is from Dr. John Maxwell. They would not remember what you said or what you told them to do, but they're going to remember how you made them feel. And so with that concept in mind and looking at servant leadership, which I know it's you putting yourself down for others, learning how to serve others well. I was able to grasp that concept well using my mentor, Dr. John Coco's book, The Area Code, where he clearly and so elaborately spoke about the servant leader. When he used the code, he had an acronym area. He used area as his description of his servant leader. So he used A, for example, as authenticity, where he says, as a leader, as a servant leader, you need to be authentic. Bring your true self to the table. Don't, if you want to teach people something, be that thing yourself. And then he used he used R as respect, which is you need to respect yourself first and then respect the people you lead. And then he used E as empower. So learning as a servant leader, you need to be able to empower other people, which is what I do in the Dream Woman Network. I do empower other women using networking. I do invite them onto the different platforms where I belong, where they can also get the same kind of training which I get. And the last one is accountability, where as a servant leader, you need to hold yourself accountable for the things that happen, the decisions you take. And I also teach that to the group of women I work with, that we have to be accountable as a team as well. So for me, that's servant leadership. And those are one of the biggest lessons I've learned as a leader so far.
Wonderful. There's so many points that you've touched on in your story and sharing about servant leadership. And something that I heard you said was getting help. And having a resilient mind doesn't mean that you're this perfect superwoman or superman kind of mentality that you can break through everything. Yes, some people are like that, but I can honestly say is that many people that you might see that, oh, this is a real person, a go-getter, and it's like nothing bothers them. They're on top of their game throughout life, and in all aspects, personal, professional. And I do know that what you said here is that there's some sort of mentorship. There's some sort of someone there who maybe in the form of a book, might be in the form of a video, or might be the individual that is there that is pushing you, that you get to learn from, that somebody is there who's questioning you and helping you to think through stuff, somebody who is holding you accountable also. And I think that is something that every one of us as leaders, to have somebody walking alongside us to help us to think through things with our own minds. And, I have a coach too. And well, I have more than one coaches. So for different things, I have different people. And so if I need something on faith-based or so, I have a coach out from Nigeria that I
Exactly.
tap into. And because I may be fixed in my own thinking of stuff and seeing it in one way, and there's so many big other ways that are there that I am not seeing. And someone else being there to question you, to help get you thinking of different perspectives, gonna help you also with that resilient mindset that, if I want to be stronger, I want to be able to withstand the storms that life throw at me, whether at work, whether it's at in the home, your families, whatever it might be. It might even be you. Sometimes your thoughts, play tricks on you, or you're going into a direction that is not conducive, and it affects your self leadership. It affects how you lead your team and all of that. So, having help does not make it sound like you are weak or you don't know what you're doing. So you need someone to tell you what to do. It's not like that. And I do believe it's not, it could become lonely if you allow it to be. And so having someone walking alongside you, it helps you to become more resilient too. Sometimes some people might need to put two box in your head or something to get you going. And that's maybe just what you need, someone to just be strong with you, to pull you back. Hey, why are you thinking like that? Hey, why are you, believe that is the only way? Why do you do this? And or, just to ask you some question to get you thinking that, what, yeah, I'm the one getting in my way. I can be, more stronger in this area here if I want to. Right. So I do appreciate, you talking about some of your mentors, some of the things you tapped into to help you to overcome some of the things then that you were faced with. And change, they said change is inevitable,
Yes.
right? So
Yeah.
get from one place to the other. Yesterday I was in one of our office and I'm telling, we're gonna have a new staff, so I'm gonna need to do some shifting around here. And so you might not be sitting here anymore, but you're gonna be in this area. And it's like, why do I have to move from here? And but I'm sharing something as simple as that, might be simple in my head, that a simple change, just shifting desk,
Yeah.
it's hard for our minds to actually, take that in and embrace it. And, so this aspect of not making everything bothers you and how to, overcome it, how to have a comeback, how to be resilient, through the changes that are happening in your life, and embrace it, that this is something new I'm going to learn. What are your thoughts on that?
I think you're absolutely right there, and I agree with you because, like I mentioned, change will come whether we want it or not. The staff you're mentioning did not invite the change of position; she didn't want to move. But things have changed. There's a new staff coming in, and there has to be that change. No one invites those changes, but they come. And so it's important in this day and age to build that aspect of resilience. We all need it. We all need it because change is going to come anyway. And I really want everybody to see resilience as an open door, as a new perspective, if you may. I mean, you've been thinking this way, you're going to start thinking this way, because not because life has stopped, not because things are even going to really change, but because this is a new opening. You thinking that new way might bring you into a space where you never even imagined or thought. And I think resilience is one of the things that helps us grow faster, because you don't feel stuck. The only way to be able to grow is you moving from day to day in different ways. And the only way, or the most probable way we can do that in this day and age, is you adapting to the little changes that come. It might be changes in people, it might be changes in positions, like you just mentioned, but we're going to change anyway. We're not going to stay the same. Life happens daily. So I think it's an important mindset to build in this day and age, depending, regardless of where you work or what you do. I think we all need that strength. And I thank God that it's something which we can all learn. And it doesn't come on you one time. It's you building it daily by the little things that happen. It might be just that change of desk today. If you learn to accept it and take it as it is, tomorrow it might be a change of an office. And so henceforth, and that's, I know people who in the past will not accept a promotion because they tell me clearly that I am comfortable here. I have learned this role. I know what to do. I know my way around. I don't want to go to a place that I don't know what's going to happen there. I mean, that mindset, especially for women, has kept so many people stuck. In my Dream Women Network, for example, I spoke to a lady who, she owns her own business, has everything. She has the tools, the skills, the everything to do what she needs to do, but she was scared of growth because of the unknown. She doesn't know what's going to come with the expenses and all of that. And after talking with her on several occasions, I encouraged her, told her how I started my own business as well, helped her overcome that fear of you not knowing the unknown. And today she has her own shop, and she sends me messages saying, I do not regret my action. So sometimes we need to take that challenge, or need to go close to people who will talk that fear out of you, or we're going to pull out that strength which you already have. We all have strengths in us so much, but we don't have the right, you might not have the right people around you. You might not just even be asking the right questions. So I want everybody, my message for everybody with this topic is open up, open yourself up, leave room for change, make yourself adaptable to these changes when they come. And I think life is going to be easier for us, and you're going to grow faster. That's how I say it.
I have heard this word adapting or adaptation, mentioned a few times here now since we are speaking. And that is the aspect of, how you will see things. How do you, I would say label it. So for me to be able to adapt to this situation, what would it require of me to do?
Yep. Yep.
And coaching yourself through it too is that, as we just said, change is inevitable. And sometimes in life, for things to change, I must change. And we don't want to own that, this is the environment. We were seeing this whole transition to technology more now, and that's change. And so there are people who still want to do things the old way, which takes longer and can frustrate people too, because you're not getting your stuff done or they're relying on you. So the part of embracing change, so that it comes back to your thinking. How am I going to be okay with learning this new thing? How am I going to be okay in adapting to this new environment, adapting to this new way of operating business, this new way of being able to communicate with people and be okay with it? Sometimes I do have to tell myself, Shanti, stop taking yourself so serious. Lighten up a little bit. And but sometimes that's it, why is it hard for you? Ask yourself those questions. What is this that I'm not able to adapt to this situation here? What is holding me back? What is, in me that is causing all of this, stirring, and whatever is holding you from being able to perform, being able to step into a role and shine. right? And so think through what are some of your thoughts right now that is causing you to hold back? What are some of your thoughts that is causing you to, you know, not saying maybe what you want to say? What are those things? And think of what was the worst thing gonna happen if I adapted this new situation? What is the worst thing that, I start doing things this way? So look back and see what is holding you back, and does it worth it? Ask yourself too, what's the worst thing is going to happen if I step into this and do this? Right? So yes, things might not go right and all the time, but that is life. How do you embrace it and not make it keep you from continuing? Right? So resilience, it's all about your thinking. Those are my thoughts. It's all about how you are going to embrace things in life. And we always teach on self-leadership first. So if you are able to lead yourself well through your thinking, I believe that you can become more resilient. If you start questioning some of those beliefs that you have that is holding you back, and then, think of how do you lead others? So I cannot serve someone else if I don't see value in them. But for me to see value in them, I also have to see value in me.
Right.
And it starts with me, that if I lead myself well by starting to see value in me, then I can value other people. So I cannot serve them well if my mind is all over the place. And so it's pulling myself. I can understand that, what, this tough thing is happening right now. What can I do? And am I doing it? If I'm not doing what I can do, then I need to question myself, what is holding me back? So I can go do what I need to do. If it is something there's nothing that I can do about the situation for whatever reason, there's nothing else that can be done. I've done everything that I could have, and this is what it is. How do I accept and not let it keep me back? Move on. Next step. What is the other, phase that I need to move into so that I don't stay where I'm at? So I know that we're running out of some time. I'm gonna give Coach Lysa a chance to share any last words on this topic here, and before we close out.
Thank you so much. I kept picking up as well. What's the worst that can happen? I like that phrase because I use it a lot on myself. What's the worst that can happen? So that's the question I use when I want to take a risk, or I call it a risk. I mean, when I want to step into a space that I don't know much about it, or I don't even have a clue. And they usually say if you wait for everything to line up before you jump into something, then it's not an opportunity anymore. And life will throw these opportunities to us. They might come as challenges sometimes, but it all boils down to what you think about it and asking questions like, what's the worst that can happen? Because some of these opportunities will come and need you to act immediately. If we keep waiting for everything to be perfect, for you to have the perfect picture, know what's going to happen in the future, have every T's and I's dotted before, it's not going to be an opportunity anymore, and it might definitely pass you by. So if you're scared or worried, that's one big question you should ask yourself. What's the worst that can happen if I take this opportunity, if I take this change, if I decide to rise and not fall as the situation looks like to me? So in the long run and in all, I would say it's in the end what you label that situation. It's not exactly what it looks like or what it feels like. It's how you call it. Whatever you call it, that's what that situation is going to answer to you. So I think it's all mindset. It's all how you say it. It's how you lead yourself. That's the end of everything to me. It all centers around that point.
Well said. you know, Being strong, it's up to you.
Mhm.
It's really honestly up to you what you say to yourself in that moment. Because I always tell people what you say about yourself when you're by yourself, you will believe it.
Yep.
If you tell yourself that you're weak, well, you are correct because
Yes.
and if you say also, you know what, I'm strong, I can get through this.
You're
I'll
still
figure it
correct.
out. This is just the next phase of life. I'm gonna move on, and something else gonna pop, and you are correct if you say that you're strong. So it's up to you what I do believe that you say to yourself. And to be resilient is to always think that you got it. You and I do believe this, especially that I know we're made to do great things, and I do
Made for
believe
more.
great lies in all of us. And you got it. You have to keep saying to yourself, I got this, and figure it out. I go get help with someone who can help you think through stuff and process it and action. But believe in yourself is so important because the words you say to yourself. And it's an opportunity area. Well, you know what? I failed at this thing here. It's an opportunity area for me to grow now into it and learn from it, get better at it, whatever it might be. But not get knocked down and staying down because it was too hard. Recording in progress. Yes, so Coach Lysa, thank you so much for your time today. I, you know, as I said before, if you guys out there listening to this and you have some stories you want to share with us too, how, you've been resilient as a leader, the challenges that you might have faced, and how you've overcome them, so that we can also learn from you. Please do share your story, share in comments, share any thoughts and questions even about this aspect of resilience. There's so much more that we can talk about resilience, but there's so much more and there's so many content out there about resilience. But I do encourage, all our audience, go read more about this and look at yourself and see how resilient you are. How are you growing also in your resilience? Look back at previous experiences and measure yourself against that. How far have you come? Long ago, maybe like certain things used to bother you. Now it doesn't bother you anymore. You're able to overcome that and see beyond that. And so every situation, look at how you measure up yourself now to that so that you can see you're growing in your resilience. So again, thank you so much for being part of this program. And we look forward to seeing you in our next session. East meets West. Share this link with anybody that can benefit from it. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Thank
And I
you.
just wanted to add, Dr. Shanti, before you leave, that if anyone wants to connect with me on Facebook, it will be Lysa Jones. On Instagram, it would be Lysa Jones as well. So you could connect with me either on any of those platforms. And I'll be so glad to answer your questions, just to hang out
Yeah,
socially.
wonderful. And also you could follow Coach Lysa on the Dream Woman Network and also see what she's doing there. So reach out, guys, and take care. Thank you again, Coach Lysa. Thank you so much for your time and also, sharing some of your stories and points here today.
Thank you for having me, Dr. Shanti. You have a wonderful weekend.
Take